Hi and welcome to another narration presented by yours truly, Cryptids Roost. Please be so kind as to throat punch the like button and smack the ass of the subscription button as well. And remember to tap the notification bell and then select all. That way you'll receive all notifications each time I upload a new video. Oh, and don't forget to share the video far and wide. This will all help with YouTube's algorithm and will help promote the channel more. If you enjoy listening to the following story, be sure to pop over to the author's Reddit profile and drop them a line, or even give them a glowing review. I'm sure they would appreciate it. The link to their Reddit profile will be below in the description. So grab your coffee, sit back and enjoy the show. And don't forget, where fear is, happiness is not. Red and the Wolves, hunted by a pack of werewolves for sport. Part 2. This fantastic series is written by cesly1987, a wonderful author over on Reddit's ceslystories subreddit. Ivan was dead, his brain splattered all over the apartment walls. This was a death sentence for the both of us. Sean had to duct tape up his bleeding arms with the tape from the apartment's kitchen. It stopped the bleeding, but it wouldn't be enough. I'd hurried Sean down the hallway. We had to get out of this apartment before the rest of the pack smelled the blood. "Stop it! Stop this! Right now!" Sean yelled at me as he pulled me to the side. We stood in the building's dingy stairwell. "You tell me what I'm really up against. You tell me what is trying to kill the both of us," Sean yelled at me, his voice echoing down the stairwell. His eyes were a fury and his jaw was clenched. I almost felt sorry for what I had done to him. They're werewolves," I said with trepidation. "Yeah, no shit, I figured that little piece out," he told me, eyes bulging. "Why are they trying to kill you? Why are they trying to kill us?" he demanded. "It's a trial, it's a game, a rite of passage for young wolves to join the pack," I answered back. "They hunt an innocent virgin over one night. The youngest wolf leads the pack and he must make the kill to be fully initiated." And Sean did what I knew would come next. He looked me over and made a pfft sound. "You're no virgin, missy," he said rudely. "I'm taking my sister's place," I shouted back. "I'm taking her place so she doesn't get killed." "But we do. We get to be sacrificed for your pure virginal sister," Sean sneered. "No," I countered. "We get to the safe house and we end the game. Mikhail loses and he is ejected from the pack." "Mikhail?" Sean asked. "Is he the big bad wolf leading these assholes?" "No, he is the pup, the youngest of the group. Tonight is his trial, his initiation to the pack. Alexei is the pack master. Alexei is allowing Mikhail to lead the pack only for tonight. Mikhail has 12 hours to find and kill me." Sean looked at his watch. "How far is the safe site?" "The wicked construction site a town over. So 2 hours by car, 4 by public transportation, and I'm not even considering walking," I said. Sean was silent for a minute. "You chose the closest safe house, didn't you? Even though it was the most obvious and the most dangerous, didn't you?" Yes, I began to reply. "I've known you for an hour," Sean interrupted, "and I have guessed your decision. I'm pretty sure Mikhail knows you a little better than me. You're predictable, hot-headed, stubborn. He will know where you are going and what path you are taking. He knows you'll take the fastest route. So now our only chance for survival is speed. Run the ball right up the middle before they close in on us," he finished. Those weren't my thoughts exactly. I guess I was predictable. Once again, I grabbed him by the arm and we ran down the stairwell and into the snowy street. The sawed-off shorty, halfway hidden, tucked under my arm and light jacket. When we made it out into the street, I noticed how empty it was. It was cold. The temperature was dropping. and it was past midnight in the middle of the ghetto. Finding a cab would be difficult. Once again, Sean stole the idea from my head. We will have to steal a car. He began running along the curb, shopping around the snow-covered cars. A wolf's howl tore through the night air with this eerie tone. It echoed off the buildings, making it hard to pinpoint. Me and Sean looked at each other. This was definitely not a sound you should hear in the city. Another howl answered it from further up the street, this one much closer. I checked my phone and I wasn't surprised to find new messages. Ivan is dead. Girl out in the open. Funnel her towards Mikhail so he can take the kill. The man is mine, it said. I figured this was Alexei talking to the other unnamed wolf in the pack. This meant Mikhail wasn't one of the two wolves homing in on us. We still had time. I showed Sean my phone screen and his eyes widened. "Come on," he said, this time grabbing me by the arm and pulling me off the street towards a rundown building. He pulled me up to a door with a thick chain and padlock. He swiped the shotgun away from me and levelled it at the lock. "No time to go car shopping. We need to get off the street." "Stop," I told him, as I pushed the shotgun away from the lock. "I can pick the lock. The blast would just bring them faster." So I began picking the lock with one of the gadgets from my purse. I had thought of a lot of scenarios about how tonight would play out, and a lot required breaking into locked buildings. I popped the padlock and went to remove it. Sean put his hand over mine. He was now hovering over me, no longer facing the street. "Not yet. Don't open it yet," he whispered in my ear. I continued messing with the chain and padlock. I could feel the tension emanating from Sean's posture. I listened and kept my head down as Sean shielded me. I could just barely make out footsteps approaching. "Now!" he yelled as he spun around and fired off one barrel into the street. I heard the shattering glass, the hiss of air from a tyre and a deep growl. I hurriedly pulled the chain from the door and swung the door open. I looked back to see the shotgun-ridden car across the street. Its window shattered and it was leaning to the side from loss of air in the front tyre. Snow slid off its hood and roof. A figure bounded over the hood and sprinted towards us. Sean sighted it and fired. The creature jumped to the cover of another vehicle on our side of the street. Just a split second before the shotgun blasted its remaining shell. The wolf made it behind the vehicle just in time. Pellets of the shotgun peppered the new vehicle our attacker was hiding behind. The car began honking and flashing its lights, letting off a shrill alarm. I saw the figure retreat from the high-pitched alarm. The figure was lean and gangly, its face covered with fur and its eyes reflecting from the overhead streetlights. It wore a dark blue tracksuit which already showed damp spots of blood from being hit by the shotgun spread. The wolf skittered into the shadows along the buildings, only its gold eyes reflecting back at us. It was making sure to stay out of range of the shotgun's deadly range. Sean popped the shotgun open and ejected the shells. He pantomimed placing two new ones in and snapped the shotgun back to ready. We were out of ammo and this bluff would only work for so long. "Stay back!" he shouted at the wolf. Not how you speak to another person, but how you do when trying to scare away a wild dog. "I'll blow you apart if you follow us!" We both backed into the darkened building. It was some sort of abandoned emergency clinic or medical office. I brought the chain with me, so we could eventually loop and padlock chain the other side. As I looped the chain, I could hear low growling from the other side as the wolf patiently pursued us, waiting just on the other side. We were left in pitch black and had to navigate the hallways with a flashlight on my phone. Then we busted through a door into a back alleyway. Sean ran across the alley to kick a door to another business. This was some sort of grocery store, and we happened to surprise a large family living in the back rooms. They were very surprised to see a woman and a bloody man with a shotgun come barreling into their living corridors. It must have been a community of families squatting illegally in the building. because I counted 12 people in total stuffed into the small room. 5 of them were kids. All of them were crammed together with a mattress on the ground and a thin clothesline running down the centre of the room as its only barrier. One young man sized Sean up and decided to jump towards a nearby lampstand, grabbing for something. Sean, quick reflexed as ever, intercepted the man and rammed him into the wall. Sean quickly opened the drawer of the lampstand to reveal a small handgun. Sean snatched it up and pointed the empty shotgun at them one-handedly. They were all screaming, while Sean screamed back at them to calm down. The chaos went on for a moment until I finally cut in. "Line them up against the wall," I commanded Sean. "What? No, you're crazy," he added back in disbelief. "Oh my God, Sean, just line them up against the wall. I'm not going to execute them like a war criminal," I fussed back at him. He issued gruff orders and waved his gun at them. They formed a ragged line against the wall, the older ones hiding the children between them. I reached into my purse for my last trick, I swear, and I pulled out a small glass bottle of perfume. I began running down the line, spraying them like an over-aggressive beauty attendant at the mall. The small room filled up quickly with its strong but beautiful scent. My sister was forced to wear this perfume ever since we were taken. The wolves had deemed her and another couple of other girls as special and set them apart from the rest of us. The rest of us were forced to make money for the wolves. Prostitution, drug dealing, stealing, that was our school of hard knocks. For my sister, she and her group of girls were pampered and educated and taught to be obedient. My sister was set in a special subclass separated from the rest of us. She was kept pampered and untainted for the pleasure of the Royal Werewolf members. Young wolves can either pick an untainted girl to breed with and continue the bloodline, or pick to hunt and slaughter during initiation. Why did the hunted girls have to be pure? I don't know. It's some chauvinistic ancient ritual, something that Myuu people did back for hundreds of years ago. It's always been a rite of blood for wolves becoming full members. Me and my sister, Anika, are twins. I'm the oldest. I was originally selected to have the life of the pampered plaything for the wolves to use. When I realised what my life would be and what awaited Anika, I switched places back with her the first night. She was my little sister. She was too kind and too pure to live the life I was forced into. I had to protect her. It's what Mother would have wanted. The perfume was specifically used on my sister and her group of girls by the strict madam that ran the house she stayed at. It was a scent only used for the untainted girls. I was made to wear her scarf so the wolves could track the unique scent of the perfume. The madam kept the perfume locked up in her room. Sometime later in the coming morning, the wolves would find a dead madam, with her perfume missing. This perfume I stole was the same perfume I was dousing the poor family with now. Hopefully it would throw off the wolves' scent. Once I had covered all the family sufficiently, I told them to go. The poor people just stared at me and didn't move, too terrified. I looked to Sean so he could convince them to leave. He pointed his gun in the air and fired off a shot from the pistol. "Go! Run!" The family stormed out of the room in every direction. "Let's go," Sean said. "Your little scent trick won't matter if they lay eyes upon us." We exited out to the front of the building. We seemed to be in the clear. We heard a growl further away from us in the direction of some of the fleeing family. We turned the corner of the street to be lit up by red and blue lights. We were face to face with a cop car. The spotlight hit us and we heard the doors open on either side. "Hands up! Drop the guns!" came a command from the driver's side. We did as commanded. We were both being blinded by the spotlight. I heard the clatter of Sean's guns hitting the asphalt. I saw one of the cops approaching us from the passenger side. "Turn around, don't face me," he screamed. We both did, now facing out into the darkness of the street. "Oh shit," I stated as I saw a wolf creature in the distance, twice as big as the others. It was Alexei, his glowing eyes approaching. He was carrying something large and cylindrical in his hands. Sean ducked just in time as a manhole cover came spinning towards him like a frisbee from out of the darkness. I heard a sickening thud and the crashing of the police car's windshield. I spun around to see the manhole cover embedded in the windshield, blood everywhere. I looked down to see the body of the cop that was approaching us. His head smashed backwards, his mouth ripped open and gushing blood. The cop on the driver's side was pulled into the darkness from behind. Gunshots and growls followed. The time for running had stopped. I soon knew the entire pack had arrived, and Mikhail was going to take his kill. Don't forget, if you enjoyed that story, be sure to pop over to the author's Reddit profile and drop them a line, or even give them a glowing review. I'm sure they really would appreciate it. The link to their Reddit profile will be below in the description. Don't forget to check out the merch store. The link will be in the description and also in the video thumbnail. And if you'd like an honourable mention, send in a snapshot of yourself with your purchase and I'll feature it in one of the videos. Have you written a creepypasta story you would like me to narrate? Have you had any cryptid sightings, paranormal or supernatural encounters, or even had a creepy or terrifying situation you would like to share? Well, I now have my very own subreddit community where you can submit your stories. The link for that is also in the thumbnail as well as below in the description. You can submit your stories there, or you can send them to cryptidsroost@gmail.com. If you wish to remain anonymous, that's fine with me. Now I also have a Facebook group, Twitter, Reddit and Discord. And if you'd like to support the channel and help make it grow, my PayPal is paypal.me/cryptidsroost, and any and all donations would be gratefully received. Again, that will also be below. And don't forget, where fear is, happiness is not.